no one can beat Ric Flair's title, not yet. And honestly, there's only two people in my mind that can beat Ric Flair's title, and is John Cena, the greatest babyface of all time, or Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte Flair. Because Cena right now is tied with the most championships with Ric Flair, and his daughter Charlotte Flair is a 14-time women's champion. Now, my question and my opinion is, basically my question is, who should break Ric Flair's record first? His own daughter Charlotte, or the 16-time world champion John Cena? And this is a hard one. This is literally a hard one because Charlotte is literally two championships away to being tied with her father and the greatest of all time, John Cena. Just two more titles, and she is tied with John and her father. And honestly, it is mixed emotions with this because a lot of people say like Charlotte Flair is probably going to be the one to beat her father's record, but a lot of people want John Cena to beat his record, which is understandable because John has done it all, and I mean he has done it all except for win the Intercontinental Championship. This man's a 5-time United States champion. He is a 16-time World Heavyweight Champion or World Champion. He is Mr. Money in the Bank. He is a Royal Rumble winner. He is the most loved WWE wrestler of all time. Doesn't matter if you Super Cena or fucking like Ruthless Aggression Cena or Thugonomics Cena. No matter what version of Cena you fucking like, Cena's going to go down as one of the best fucking wrestlers in fucking history of the modern era, of the Ruthless Aggression going into the modern era. Like, oh God. And I love Charlotte, don't get me wrong. Even though people said like, yo, Charlotte was handed all her titles, like, but you got to remember at the time on the women's division on both NXT and main roster, but mostly the main roster, there are only 4 women carrying the WWE on their back. That was the 4 horsewomen: Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley. That was the only 4 women carrying the women's division at that time. Not like how it is before, even though the women's division is now getting worse by the minute. But at that time, the women was at their peak, and I mean the peak of their wrestling careers. The titles was always getting flip-flopped between, obviously, Charlotte, and it was getting flip-flop between Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley. That's the 4 women that was getting flip-flopped with the titles. And we're between SmackDown and Raw. And, like, Charlotte is obviously the queen for the reason. She's a queen for the reason. Obviously, following in her father's footsteps, obviously, with all the accomplishments that she did, like, she was, like, the Divas champion before they switched to the Raw Women's Championship. Like, she's a one-time, she's a one-time Divas champion. She is a 2-time NXT champion. Obviously, when they hold the first NXT women's title, and then the new version, the black and gold NXT women's title before they changed into like the 2.0 NXT women's title. Then she's a 6-time Raw Women's Champion, and her becoming the first ever Raw Women's Champion. And then we have her being the 7-time SmackDown Women's Champion, her becoming the SmackDown Women's Champion, or 7-time SmackDown Women's Champion, because she became 7-time SmackDown Women's Champion because we all hated fucking Ronda Rousey. We still do. We obviously still do. Her as the fucking SmackDown Women's Champion was just god awful. We just need someone to take that title off of her, which was Charlotte Flair, which I like when they revamped her fucking music. Her music is different. Wardrobe's different. Everything about her was different when she came back, and I love that. Everything about Charlotte when she came back. And even though it was like a short reign and everything, and her having one of the best matches of all her fucking career matches of all time on the women's roster with Rhea Ripley. Obviously, her losing the title to Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 39 was the best fucking title exchange or best fucking match of all time for the women. Like, real talk. and her becoming a one-time women's tag team champion with Asuka that only lasted maybe like a good month and a half. But that, and then that's it. But like she is literally one of the top women in WWE of the modern era. Like, oh God. Besides Bailey, besides Becky, besides fucking shitty ass Ronda, besides former women's champion, like WWE champion, women's WWE champion, Mercedes Moné. Like, Charlotte is at the top of her game. Obviously, with John Cena out of the picture, him probably becoming retired sooner or later, and everybody's saying, John needs to come back to win, the World Heavyweight Championship so he can beat Ric Flair. But honestly, it's a hard one because, like I said, Charlotte Flair is not that off from being tied with her father and John Cena. And John Cena's only one championship off to becoming, the person with the most world titles in WWE history. And honestly, because even though I would want John Cena to become a 17-time world champion, his body is just not there anymore. As much as I love John with a fucking passion, as much as I love him with a passion, his body's saying, I can't do this shit no more. I can't. As much as you want to push me, bruh, as much as you want to push me, my body said nah. And it's gonna suck because if if Cena can't do it, it's gonna have to be Charlotte. Because I'm looking more that way. Because I don't think Cena can really take any more pressure on his entire body anymore. Because you saw his match at fucking WrestleMania 39. That shit was atrocious. That kickoff match for the United States Championship against Austin Theory, that shit was goddamn awful. That shit was garbage. Like, you could tell that his body was just not there no more. Even though this man is in shape, this man is lean, like his physique is phenomenal. Like, you can tell that his body is just giving out of him slowly but surely. And like, even though I still love John Cena this day, you got to give credit where credit due is with Charlotte Flair. I mean, yes, she obviously that was her goal since day one to beat her father's record to become the person in her family with the most world championships, like more than her father. Like, but you also gotta admit that you also gotta think, bro. She just hasn't been handed every fucking title. She worked hard to get every fucking title. I mean, yes, she had the most opportunities in the women's division, but she was like the person in the women's division that was carrying the women's division. Carrying besides Becky, Mercedes Moné, and Bailey. Charlotte Flair was the top woman or it still is the top woman of the women's division, carrying the WWE for all the women. Like, real talk. Like, you gotta remember that because, like, even though people said I'm against it, I don't want to see Charlotte beat her father's record. I want to see John Cena. It's gonna be more like Charlotte Flair is gonna be the one dethroning her father. Because, like I said, John Cena's body is just not up to it no more. As much as you can say that, she doesn't deserve it. Like, I don't want to see her become a 17-time world champion. It's gonna happen regardless where you like it or goddamn not. It's gonna fucking happen because obviously whenever this happens, whenever not Rick, but Charlotte Flair surpasses her father, obviously Ric Flair and John Cena will commend her for passing and becoming the first person in WWE history to become a 17-time world champion. And I'm all here for it. And I definitely will give her props where props is due. I'm definitely giving that, bro, because like you gotta think about it. Like, she was handpicked from NXT, bro. Ever since ever since she won the NXT Women's title, she was handpicked from WWE, from Triple H herself, that she was going to be a major star on the main event scene. And look what happened, bro. Like I said, Divas champion, became Raw Women's champion, 7-time SmackDown Women's champion, 6-time Raw Women's champion, 2-time NXT champion, and Women's Tag Team champion. She's 14 world championships, bro. 14. Just give her maybe a good 3 to 5 years and she's going to pass her father. Give her like another 3 to 5 years and she's going to surpass her father. And all you haters saying that, oh, she doesn't deserve it, bruh. She doesn't deserve it. Like, she's so, like, no, her reigns are so fucking bad. Like, bruh, as much shit you could talk to Charlotte Flair about, bruh, you can't talk shit when she becomes a 17-time world champion, bruh. Because at this point, all you can say is, like, you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. That's what everybody's going to cheer. And honestly, that's what I'm going to cheer too, because she does deserve it. Even though I want John Cena to beat Ric Flair, like body-wise, he's just not up to it. Charlotte Flair is probably more healthier than John Cena at this very moment when it comes to wrestling. John Cena has been doing this since Ruthless Aggression era. Since Kurt Angle was in his prime, obviously when fucking Kane, Triple H, Undertaker, all these people, Brock Lesnar, and everybody like that, like young Randy Orton. He's been doing this probably since like early 2000s, man, early 2000s. So his body is not where he's at right now. But honestly, to answer my question, who is more likely to beat Ric Flair's 16-time World Championship reign? His own daughter, Charlotte Flair. His own freaking daughter, Charlotte Flair. I don't care what you say, but I stand by that 100%.